Hi, this is Kirk from Walrus Carp. Today we are going to do another Disney Copycat recipe. This time we're going over to Epcot for Kringla Bakery's school bread. So this is a recipe that was actually suggested to me by somebody on Instagram. So this is an actual baked good. So here are the ingredients we're going to need. I'm using TheSpruceEats recipe. It calls for, so for ingredients we have 1 1/4 cups of milk, we have a 1/4 cup of butter, we have 1 dry yeast packet, we have some sugar. You need a 1/2 cup of sugar, you need 2 teaspoons of cardamom, 4 cups of flour, and then later on we're going to need an egg and some powdered sugar for the glaze and for baking. And then there's a whole nother section of ingredients for the custard, but we'll do that completely separate so I don't confuse you. All right, let's start combining this stuff and we'll go over and add it to our mixer. Okay, seems like I was jumping the gun a little bit. The first thing we need to do is scald the butter and milk mixture. So the first thing we're going to do is put on the saucepan on medium, actually a little bit higher, medium, high heat. Let's take our milk. Milk's in. Got our butter. Butter's in. And I've never scalded milk before, but to scald milk, apparently we need to heat it until small bubbles rise and are uniformly across the surface of the liquid. And then we remove it from the heat and cool it until it is finger warm, which I'm guessing finger warm is basically so that we can add in the yeast. So, yep. All right. So let me heat this thing up. It's not bubbling or anything yet, but I'll get back to you once this starts. This looks like it's scalded. I'm gonna also mix it up a little bit too, because just kind of incorporate everything a little bit better. Okay, so it looks like the butter milk mixture is starting to scald. We still have it on that medium-ish heat. Looks like lots of bubbles are forming. Kind of what it said, uniform bubbles all over the top. So, tiny little bubbles. Getting there. As soon as this completely bubbling, which we're almost there, we're going to immediately take it off the heat. So it is officially scalded. I have no idea what that does. Hopefully it makes good school bread. All right. We gotta let this cool, and then we're gonna add in our sugar and our yeast, and then let it sit for 10 minutes, and then that's gonna bubble again. So we gotta let this cool. All right, the butter and milk have cooled. So we're gonna add this to the mixer. It's supposed to go down to lukewarm temperature. Then it says next to stir in the sugar. That is a 1/2 cup sugar, and then 1 thing of dry yeast. Mix this around real quick. So this thing's gonna bubble a lot. In 10 minutes, all these bubbles should increase in size, so we'll look back in 10 minutes. Okay, next thing, we're adding all the dry ingredients. So I already have 1 teaspoon of cardamom. There's a 2nd teaspoon of cardamom, which I don't know if you've ever smelled cardamom, but to me, this stuff smells a lot like tea, you know, like an Earl Grey. It's very herbal. It almost has like a lemon or eucalyptus smell to it as well. So, you check this out. The yeast has now risen. It's quite a lot. It's really bubbly and goopy looking. It's crazy. And then here's 4 cups of flour with the cardamom. So we're going to add this to our mixer and then mix all this stuff up. So let me switch to another side here. Cardamom, just throw all that stuff in there. Almost got all of it in. Remember, I am not a professional chef or baker, whatever you want to call it. So this is all me messing around. All right, because I'm lazy and we got this nice KitchenAid mixer when we got married, I'm gonna use this to make my life easier. So it just suggests that you incorporate the cardamom and flour until the dough pulls away from the sides of the mixing bowl. So we're gonna mix this up, lock it in, start mixing. There we go. Till the dough slightly pulls away. I think we're at that point. Okay, so you can take off this attachment. I'm gonna have to, I need 2 hands for this to get all this stuff off. Come on! Put this in this bowl. I'll get to it in a second. But yeah, after I get all the dough together, it says you have to cover it up with a towel. So I got a little, oh, she's upside down. Got a little Hannah towel, which movie magic, that's gonna get in here. But this is supposed to wait for an hour until the dough doubles in size. So we'll have to take a look at it in an hour. All right, for continuity's sake, I've now added the extra that was in that side bowl. So this is what it looks like before it proofs for an hour. So I'm gonna cover it back up again. Oh no, Anna. Lost ya. Hard to do with one hand. All right, we're all covered up. So we'll see you in an hour and see how big you got. So while our dough is proofing, we're gonna come over here. These are the ingredients for the custard. We need 1 2/3 cups of milk. We need a 1/4 cup of sugar. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. 4 egg yolks, which I gotta still crack those guys. And then a tablespoon of cornstarch. And you need a saucepan too. So the first thing that it suggests is that we have to put the milk in the saucepan. We're gonna bring this up to a little bit of a boil. That's the first step. So let's get this going. Okay, so this recipe calls for 4 egg yolks. So the way I'm gonna do that is, I got this little cool egg separator guy. So you just crack an egg. Like I'm super fancy, I can do it with one hand. Okay. Separate that. And you just lift this little guy up, give it a little jiggle. And it gets rid of, oh, come on, egg yolk. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look appealing? Oh no! Oh no, we ruined everything. Just kidding. We didn't ruin everything. All for naught. Let me just grab a, look at this trick. No biggity. People always stress about baking and cooking. There's like a million ways to do everything. So, all right, this is obviously a 2-hand guy and it's a lot easier. So let me get the 4 rest of the egg yolks. When this is done with 2 hands, a lot different. So there we go. There are our 4 egg yolks. And then we have to add, so these egg whites, I'm just gonna use for breakfast tomorrow, no big deal. The egg whites though, or the egg yolks, sorry about that, are gonna go into this mixing bowl. And we're supposed to add the, I think, sugar and flour. Book, we need sugar and vanilla. So, 1/4 cup of sugar, bangarang. And our vanilla, let's see if I can do this left-handed. Oh, don't drop anything, don't drop anything. Oh. Okay, got it in. And then, once again, because it's easier to do this one-handed, I'm going to use the KitchenAid mixer to mix everything up. It's supposed to double in size, so let's see how this goes. I guess we're supposed to really mix this thing up, kind of aerate it a little bit. What do you think? I think that's pretty good. Cool. And I hear our milk starting to get a little bubbly. Whew. Just when I thought this wouldn't get any stranger. Okay, so this hot milk mixture, I'll pour it in here because it'll be easier. But hot milk is gonna end up going into this, but we're not too fast. I'm supposed to mix as it happens. So, alright, I don't know what on earth I'm doing. It's called tempering eggs, but a few drops at a time. I don't know what that means. A few drops. Going on this journey together, ladies and gents. It's changing consistency. Definitely getting more frothy. I don't know if that's good or bad. And I don't really know if this is the right method here. Make super foamy looking eggs. Maybe. Reminds me almost of like when you make a meringue. I never would have been able to do this by hand. But I'm sure a hand mixer would work good, but I don't know. Doing this physically by hand would be next to impossible in my opinion. Alright, enough playing around. Let's hammer this home. Whoa. This thing got huge. Alright, so once again, I have no idea if it's supposed to be this frothy, foamy, fuzzy, anything. There definitely is a peaky thing going on here. But I don't know if that's good. Alright, let's continue on. So I did a little research and yeah, tempered eggs don't normally look like this. So we'll see. I'm still gonna use it, because why not? You know, I think once it gets heated, it might go a different direction here. Or even if I just like kind of fluff it down, it'll lose a lot of that air. Oh yeah, it's already starting to come down to a regular mixture. So anyway, the whole purpose of tempering eggs is so that you don't make scrambled eggs. So the good thing is I didn't make scrambled eggs, so this custard still might turn out all right. The next thing you have to do though, which is super crazy, is you have to get a little double boiler action. So get a little bit of water in here. So you're gonna see, get this boiling. We're gonna put this egg mixture onto that. So this is like the quick, cheap, dirty, easy man's double boiler. is you just take any saucepan or even a bigger pot if you want, and then just take anything that's glass, Pyrex, even metal can go right on top, and then you can see it'll heat but not scald, which I guess is the key for this custard. So we're gonna put this foamy bad boy in here. I have no idea how it's gonna react. Could react good, could react bad. Is there actual liquid? No, there's liquid underneath it. I wonder if this foam is like, it's separated out something. I don't know if, like, what that foam could be made of. I kind of feel like I don't want to add the foam. I don't know. Maybe I will. Let's try it just with this liquid. It looks like that's all. The rest is this foam. The foam might settle down, then I'll add it in later, but yeah, so now we got a little double boiler action. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to mix this, add the cornstarch. Oh, I did see this. The cornstarch portion, you have to add a little bit of the cornstarch, so the tablespoon of cornstarch, into water, dissolve it, and then add it while you're mixing, while this is heating. Don't let it boil. That's the key. Supposedly to make a good custard is don't let it boil. So you're not boiling, are you? No. Why does it have foam? What are you? Somebody, please let me know what I'm doing wrong. I know I did this horribly wrong, but what on earth is going on in there? But this looks good, so I think we'll be okay. And it's stuff, we just pour it in there, so if I have to waste a little bit, it's not the end of the world. But maybe I overmixed it? Probably. Okay, so here we are. We got the old custard cooking here. Have this on like a medium heat. Not supposed to let it boil. I gotta add in this cornstarch. So this is just cornstarch mixed with a little bit of water. Okay. That should help in this thicken up. We're gonna heat and stir it. I'll come back as this gets thicker and thicker as we cook it more. Or had to call an audible. Yeah, so I end up putting a container over the double boiler, or the mixture, the custard mixture over the double boiler, and it was not thickening at all, except for the very, very bottom. So I don't know if it was getting hot enough, so I'm gonna just continue to stir this and hope that it thickens up, because this is thin like water. This is not, so I don't think the eggs were actually cooking. And now, it's already starting to do some thickening type stuff already. So yeah, bad call, ignore the whole double boiler thing, but nature of making stuff you've never made before. Boy, this thing's getting angry at me. Let's turn it down a little bit. It's getting real angry. There we go. Now it's starting to, now we're cooking. Now it's starting to thicken up, so there we go. It's getting real thick. You gotta be careful on the temperature that you select, because it really can start jumping up at you pretty quick. So you really need to stir. And this is starting to definitely thicken up. See, like, even 2 seconds I wait, it starts bubbling something crazy on me. This is definitely getting more pudding-like in texture. I'm gonna keep cooking it just a little bit longer, and then we'll take it off this heat. I am battling with this recipe. Oh, school bread, you are not easy. I forget how much the treat actually costs, but in retrospect, if you really like school bread and you really want it, I mean, it's worth all this effort, I guess, but it is so I do think it's interesting how this whole process has worked, because it's super time consuming. And then you can see right here, pudding is looking all right. Say you're supposed to be able to draw a finger through it, and that tells you it's nice and cooked. Told me to put it in a water bath. I don't have a water bath, so I just threw the saucepan in cold water. So we'll see, that'll chill, and then I'm gonna throw it probably in the fridge to set up better. Now I gotta clean up. I have so much stuff to clean. This has been like super intense. Super intense. And I haven't even looked at the dough yet to see if it's fully proofed. I got another 20 minutes for that. School bread's taking a lot out of me. I hope it's worth it. All right, moment of truth time for the dough. It's been over an hour. So, Anna, let's see. Oh! Definitely doubled in size. So that's awesome. And the next step says I'm gonna throw a little flour in it. Actually, it says to punch it down. Like, what does that mean? Like, Is that punching it down? I mean, I'm literally punching it. I guess there's gas or something in there that has to escape. Doing this one-handed, not easy. Okay. Then says throw a little bit of flour in here. Here's our flour. Then we're gonna put this guy into the mixer again. I have a dough hook. Clearly didn't lock it down enough. Whoa! Don't go anywhere. Hang on. I'll be back in 1 second. Here we go. Dude, that was so funny. All right. Yeah. I don't know what this thing's supposed to do. It's supposed to do this. Ooh. I don't know how fast you're supposed to go either. But it says we're supposed to knead it for a while. And then once we're done kneading, we're gonna roll it out into an 18-inch long roll. So we're gonna take it out here. I'm gonna flour this whole section. You know, I can flour it right now, in fact. We're gonna roll it out into an 18-inch section. And then you're supposed to cut that 18-inch section into 20 pieces, which seems like a lot. So I'm gonna look to see how it actually turns out once once I get it into a row. Might actually, that snake might actually make only a few, not a full 20. But I mean, I think this thing's good. Is it nice and glossy, it's claiming? I wouldn't call that glossy. I would say it's dough though. I mean, what is this supposed to look like? It comes off the edges real clean. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try it just for a little bit longer. I know you're not supposed to like over knead things. It's like, what am I doing? I don't know. What's this thing doing? I'm guessing it's good. Come on. School bread. School bread. All right. I'm not going to be able to roll this out with one hand. You can see what I'm kind of doing here. I'm going to make a giant 18-inch long snake. 20 pieces. Get real, man. That'd be so many, like, what, like a this? That'd be so many pieces. I don't know. I'm gonna make what I think is the right size. Here's what they look like all pressed out. And we're just gonna cover them up with a towel and go from there. Let them rest for 30 minutes. All right, these have been resting for well over 30 minutes. This is a big reveal. They are not bigger at all. Maybe a little bit. Oh, those ones look a little bigger. So next thing you're supposed to do is egg wash them. So they get nice and golden brown. Egg wash action. And this is just one egg yolk. And then I preheat the oven for 375. And they're gonna bake in there for 15 minutes. So the custard I actually took and put in the fridge to cool down more. So I think that'll thicken it more. And I went back there, it's super, super thick. and it's really good. It tastes like less sweet version of like a Boston cream, which is pretty much how I think when I did the review of school bread, I thought it tasted like. So I think the custard's right on par. So we'll see how these buns come out, if they kind of rise as they cook a little bit. But put these in the oven for 15 minutes. And then see how it goes. All right, oven is preheated. So we're gonna launch these bad boys right in the oven. It says use a greased pan, but I like these silicone sheets. Our oven's super efficient because it's one of those electric convection ones. So I'm gonna put a timer on here, but I'm not gonna put it on for the full 15. I'm actually only gonna put it on for 11 minutes because I wanna see how these come out first, and if I need to cook them longer, I can always add some time. So see you in 11 minutes. All right. The top ones don't look done, and the bottom ones do look done. Interesting. I think I'm gonna give them another minute and then take the bottom ones out and then rotate them. Actually, you know what? I can rotate them right now. That's actually probably a pretty good idea. Let me rotate these guys, I'll come right back. Okay, so the buns, or the school bread, have been in for collectively about 14 minutes, which I think made them turn out pretty good. I always have a tendency to overcook things when we're baking. So got like a little bit burnt on the side, but other than that, they look good. Yeah, I think this will work. So next step is to make a quick royal icing, which is just powdered sugar and water. And then dip these guys into the royal icing and then into shredded coconut. And then last but not least, I have in the fridge already a custard that we made earlier that's been refrigerating so it's easier to pipe. So royal icing, dip, pipe custard, done. This is taking like 4 hours. I'm not good at this, but you know what? All right, hang on, time out. I'm not timely with this, but I think, I don't know, man. It's pretty good. What do they smell like? It's got that big cardamom, like that super herbal scent. So see how they go. All right, we have our glaze station over here, so the bread looks good. You got coconut in a plate over there. Then confectioner sugar. This is 6 tablespoons of confectioner sugar, and then 1 tablespoon of water. Which we're gonna make up. It's kind of like a royal icing almost. Really simple. Just making a sticky coating for the top of these. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more sugar. Just to thicken it up just a tiny bit more. It's a little runny, I don't want it to run off the side. Alright, so we got our glaze made. It's all done. For the buns, you're supposed to just make like a hole. So I'm gonna make kind of like, I need a spot for where the custard is gonna go. Make these little holes here, right in the dead center. It's like, oh no, I ruined this great looking bread. But they're gonna get coated so you won't even see that anyway. So we're making kind of like a little cavity or pocket for the custard to go. This one's a little baby one. There we go. So next thing is I'm gonna take a smaller one because it'll be easier to do one-handed. But get the glaze all over here. There we go. That looks good. Take it over the coconut. Roll it around. Get it nice and coated. Nice and coated. Nice and coconutty. There we go. Let's try one of these bigger guys. So I have that hole, I don't want to waste any icing on that inside part. Right. Coconut. There you go. Looks good. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of these, and then we gotta just put the custard in the piping bag and go from there, and we're pretty much done. So, almost there. Okay, we're ready to fill these bad boys. So there they are, all done, ready to go. Then we have our custard here, which you can see is really nice and thickened up. Yeah, it's got a nice little pudding texture. It's like less sweet vanilla pudding would be the best way to explain it. Then I have a pastry bag. So I have to load this pastry bag first. So I can't do that with one hand like this. So let me try and flip this around. All right, so little trick is I use a pint glass or any glass to hold up the pastry bag. It's also great when you're filling, not only for when you're filling, but when you're taking a break from filling, you need a place to put the pastry bag. It's a super easy way to do it. Now, there's a line on all these pastry bags that tells you exactly where to fill. You don't want to go too high because otherwise it squishes out the top. So put that aside, but that was chilling. So this is chilled. And then we have a star tip on this. So let me, I'm gonna roll this up real quick, and then we're gonna start filling these bad boys. So we're gonna kind of just go off a look and feel. I don't know how much to actually put in here, but all right. It's pretty good. It's all dependent on how much you cut a hole to show you how much cream you're going to have in each one, but it's pretty good. All right, let me fill the rest of these, and then we'll take a look and do a taste test. All right, it's official. I think they look awesome. These turned out great. Yeah, legit. Those are definitely legit. They look a lot like the Kringla Bakeri ones. Not exactly perfect, but yeah, pretty good. And when I was filling these guys, I did have to go back in and kind of push the pastry bag further into the bread so that I could fill kind of that cavity that I had made. So the bigger opening that you make in the inside of the bread, the more filling you can actually get. So let's take one of these guys and let's bite into it and see how it is. Okay, moment of truth. About 4 hours in the making. Here is my version of Epcot school bread. Chewy, soft. The cardamon's in there. I really like the glaze with the coconut on it. I think if I were to do these again, I definitely would hollow out more of a cavity for the center part, because just eating the bread right now, but my next bite should be the custardy part. Oh yeah. Good vanilla, nice texture, stays together nicely. The bread itself is delicious and soft. A little herbal, but that's from that cardamom. And the coconut's great. For a lot of work, but if you're missing this and you're not at home, this is definitely a legit recipe that you can make at home. And not too challenging, especially for somebody like me who has absolutely no idea what they're doing. A lot of guesses. So, yeah, there it is. School bread. So if you like any of this stuff, we have more videos and whatnot. You can follow us here at Walrus Carp, or you can go onto our website at walruscarp.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at Walrus Carp Clothing. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna enjoy this school bread. Legit.